So the last time we discussed about the extracurriculars for your college application. Today we'll be discussing again the most integral part of your college application, your essays. If you're on the fence of getting accepted into a particular university, then the admission committee, in order to learn about who you are, refers to your essay. If you write a good essay, it can be on the positive side of the fence. While if you write a bad one and do not convey exactly who you are, you might end up on the negative side. So, today our topic of discussion is going to be a personal essay on your common application. So, without any further ado, let's get started. The first thing that you have to do before you start working on your essay is choose the right prompt for yourself. Common App gives you around 10 to 11 prompts from which you have to choose one. If you're in your freshman year, your sophomore year, your junior year, or your senior year, you might not be having your own common application, but you can download the prompts anytime from the internet. The earlier you start working on your essay, the better it gets every day you work on it. Every day you improve. It is not really necessary for you to choose one of the 12 prompts that Common App offers. The last prompt of the Common application is to choose your own prompt or to choose your own topic. But if you want to take my advice, then I'd ask you to choose one of the prompts that Common App offers first, because it covers nearly everything that a student might have to convey. Second, the colleges know what you're writing about prior to reading their essay. They know if you're talking about the field that you want to work in, or if you're talking about some things that you went through as a child, or some transformation that you brought in the society. So it's very important for you to choose the right prompt. Before you start working on your essay, you should know yourself at your best. Which part of your life do you want to write about in your essay? Why have I asked you to start working on your essay pretty early? Let's say you're in your freshman year. You are attached to a particular section of the society. Let's say in this year, you're working towards the needy, the hospitalized, and doing something toward them. Maybe in your freshman year, your essay is based on that itself. When you're in your sophomore year, maybe you're doing something else. Let's say you are doing something great academically, and your essay is based on that. When you're in your 11th grade or your junior year, you are doing something, let's say you started your own company, just to give you an example. And maybe that year your essay will be based on that. In your senior year and your 12th grade, maybe you started to work on a book. Your essay might be about that. Or maybe in your senior year or your junior year, whenever you have a really creative thought, you write about your life. You write about the story of your life. You'll get 10 to 16 drafts. 10 to 16 because that is the tentative number as analyzed by particular data. You might be ready with 10 to 16 drafts from which you can choose one if you start working on an essay early. If you're late, don't panic, because it's never too late until and unless the deadline has passed. Alright, so right now I'm covering a broader section. Let's say you're in your freshman year and you write about whatever you're doing right. When you're in your senior year and reading back whatever you wrote in your freshman year, either you'll find yourself silly or you might find yourself apt. Choose whichever draft you think is the best, which conveys yourself in the best way. The second thing after you've chosen your prompt and what you want to convey about is to choose the right software. You cannot write it on simply MS Word or any other simple platform because it might not be able to check on you. The thing that I used, or the software that I used, was Grammarly. It corrected my grammar. Even when I thought that my grammar was correct, there were some errors, some minute errors that Grammarly pointed out at. So as a customer of Grammarly, I can suggest you to use Grammarly for your essays, and I think it will work in the best way. But you cannot submit your essay directly. You cannot rely completely on Grammarly. See, when you're submitting your essay on Common App, if you click on the review button, you might find some errors that Common App has pointed out. So pay attention to that as well. So I would suggest you to use the software Grammarly. You can use anything, but make sure that your software corrects. Who should you consult regarding the aptness of your essay? If you're writing something about your evolution from a child and whatever you have done until now, whatever success you have had until now, then I'd suggest read it out to someone who has been close to you since the very beginning. For example, let's say you're very close to your mother, you're very close to your father, maybe to your sister, or anyone in your family, or maybe one of your friends. You can read it out to them and ask them how apt it is, how correct it is, how well you're conveying yourself, or if you have missed out anything. If you want to get your essay checked professionally, then College Spectra offers a service where you can get your essay checked. I'll drop a link down below. We can even write your essay if you give us the pointers. For that too, I'll drop the link down below. I'll also drop my email ID. If you have any questions, you can email me directly. So that was a very brief introduction to essays of your college application. This is a very vast topic, so we'll cover it in parts. Today was just to give you a brief, how should you start and which software should you use, how should you get it checked, which draft, etc. But I will be pointing out some of the key tips that you should use in your essays. That will be coming soon. Until then, I wave you a goodbye. If you have any questions, you can drop it directly in the comment section. I'll be replying to them. I'll also drop my email ID. You can ask me questions through my through mail. Thank you and have a nice day.